Well, it's good to have everyone here. Thanks for being here. I hope you've all had a good week since we met last. Before I go through and talk about some things that I wanted to discuss today, was there anything anyone had that they wanted to talk about? Any questions or problems anyone's having that they wanted to discuss in the meeting? No, we're all good. All right, excellent. I know Sam takes great care of you guys. That's great. Okay. All right, I'm going to share my screen. So one of the things we were going through the last time I did some training with you guys was Yelp. Actually, Sam, I wanted to ask you too, have you had a chance to do that certification, Yelp certification?
Not yet.
Okay, all right. I just got a message from Boom this morning. He just did it, I think, today. And he's going to get he said it's good, and he's going to get his team to do it as well. So when you get a chance, I know you're busy, but when you get a chance, if you can do that as well, and then let me know if you feel the team should do it.
Okay.
The training, and once you have done that too, you, Boom, and myself will most probably get back on the call with Ryan to talk about what we're going to do next. So maybe actually I might keep this then for another time. I think we went through most of the slides. So actually, who here on the call has any questions for me about Yelp ads and how they work? So any questions? No. So look, I think the two main things to remember is there's two ways we can help clients. We can do ads for them, and the other thing we can do for them is to help them improve their profile, to help them so that when people do go to their profile, they're more likely to order from the restaurant. And because Yelp, the people that use Yelp, let me see. Where is the stat here? It's an important statistic. No. Maybe it's here in this presentation here. Anyway, so here we go. This is what I'm looking for. 97% of people on Yelp searching for restaurants make a purchase after visiting the platform. So this is why Yelp is so, it's important for us in the US to be using this for our clients for marketing, is because people that go on Yelp, they're going there to order. They will order from a restaurant, 97%. So yeah, very, very important to know that one. Okay, look, I'll move on from Yelp. So let me see. I did want to mention to last, so one of the things that we talked about previously, a couple of weeks ago maybe, was about the importance of us. Hey, B's here. Hey, welcome, B. Good to have you here.
สวัสดีค่ะพี่สารสวัสดีค่ะพี่มะนาวสวัสดีจานในพี่เต๋อ
So one of the important things for us to do is to make sure that we're accessing clients' Facebook page as an agency through Business Manager. And I know San's already made a spreadsheet of those that we need to work with, which is fantastic. Thank you for doing that, San, and for working together as a team to do that. I just want to point out maybe something I didn't mention when we were discussing this a couple of weeks ago, that, you know, we have had times where clients have not had ownership of their Facebook page. They might have been an admin, but they weren't the owner. And because of the restrictions that had, that, you know, they've been considering maybe making another Facebook page. And that's terrible, you know, losing all those followers from the original one, but also having the confusion of having two Facebook pages. And I have seen that happen where clients, you know, have created a second Facebook page, and it's just, yeah, it's just terrible. So yeah, very, very important that we work to help them to become the business owner, work with Facebook and do what we can to get that happening. All right, that's all I'll say on that topic. All right, so now here's something, I'm gonna share my screen again. Here's something that, who right now has got a Facebook ad campaign where the ads say Learning Limited? I think there is one, at least one right now that has that. Anyone here, you know, when you look at the ads, I'll just go into a random one. Right, this one's in review. You know how it says in review here, but you know, sometimes it's orange. Yeah, the color is orange and it says Learning Limited. Has anyone got a campaign they're running that has that right now?
Can you
Yeah.
try with sorry, Thai Manila?
Is that in US or
In
no, Australia, isn't it?
Australia.
Okay. What was that again? Thai what? Sorry, Thai Rawa.
Thai Manila.
Thai. This one here, Thai Manila Express.
Yes.
Yeah.
Good.
All right, lovely, thank you. All right, great, thank you. Okay, so I spoke to, fortunately, right now we have a Facebook, someone from Facebook that is working with us, which is something we've never had before. I think Facebook, a lot of people are not using Facebook. Advertisers have stopped using Facebook because they've been so difficult to work with in the past, that they're starting to wake up, I think, and they're now they've actually assigned us someone within Facebook that will talk to us and help us. And so I asked them, hey, why are we getting this Learning Limited and what can we do about it? So let me just hover over it. It says, this ad belongs to an ad set that isn't generating enough results to exit the learning phase. Consider making changes to your ad set to improve performance. So what the Facebook representative told me was that usually we'll see this if our budgets are very low.
Mm.
And that is the case with a lot of the ad campaigns that we run. The budget is very low. Sometimes we run at the absolute minimum. So in this case, I see that the ads are running, which is great. Now, if the ads are not running because it says Learning Limited and it won't run them, then maybe increase the budget, at least just temporarily, and then put it back. And once it's finished the learning phase, then decrease it to the amount it should be. But that's what they told me. So I thought that would be good to share with everyone. And just a reminder too, that the ad spend that we talk to clients about, it is a minimum ad spend. So, you know, we do, you know, if they want more results, if they're not happy, they're not getting enough, seeing enough new clients coming in, enough results from the marketing, encourage them to increase their ad spend. Yeah. Okay. All right. Any questions about that before I go into the next task?
So if we have a restaurant that have the learning limited, we just add more ad spend, like temporary, until we move from that phase. So that's what we should do.
Yeah, especially if the ads are not running at all. Like in this case where they're running, you don't have to do that.
So
but
only
you know,
if the ad is not running.
Yeah, if the ad's not running, I would recommend increasing the ad spend, just enough to get it going and get through that learning phase, and then decrease it. Yeah.
Let's say that the ad spend is like 100 and it's $1.50 for daily, and we increase to like $2 per day, and then when we move from that phase, for like when we go back, should we go back to like 150 or like 1, so that the total amount is still 100, or what?
Yeah, good question. Yeah, we want to manage it so we stick to $100. Yeah. So
Okay.
if you can do that, I know sometimes with Facebook it won't let you go below a certain. So let's say you put $2, and then you think let's say you put $2 for a week, and it gets out of the learning phase and it's all green. But then Facebook won't let you put it back to $1 for a week, because, you know, to even it out, it won't let you put, but you try, you know, maybe you think, okay, I'll put it to $1 for a week to even it out, you know, but then Facebook won't let you because the minimum is like $1.52, you know. Just do the best you can. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, great question. Any other questions about that one? No? Okay, awesome. All right, so so the next thing I want to talk about is Zoom chat. So Zoom chat, and I've discussed this many times in the past, but we have new team members now, so I think it's important to excuse me, sorry, to bring it up again. So Zoom, when it comes to Zoom chat, we have to be very careful how we use it. And what I mean is, if there's something you need someone to do for you, some action they need to take, always create a task in Salesforce and assign it to that person. Now, if it's urgent and you want to let them know that there is a task for them, then send them a message and say, hey, look, I've just created, there's this urgent thing I need you to do for me. I've created a task for you. So that's fine to do. It's fine to use the Zoom chat to do that. But always, whenever there's an actionable task for someone to do, always create a task for them in Salesforce. Now, why do I say that? Why do I always talk about this, and why is it so important? What can anyone tell me why? Anyone except San? Just, it doesn't matter if you get it wrong. I don't mind. Take a guess. B, what do you think? Why do I say that, B?
For me, I think that I don't like still to know about it when I forget to do something.
Okay. You don't want to broadcast it to the whole world.
Yeah.
You'd prefer. Yeah. And you know what? And that's a good point. And maybe Stu doesn't want to know everything that's going on. You know, he doesn't want to be like, you know, seeing messages, because, you know, whenever we see on Zoom chat, there's an unread message, we have to go and look at it, right, to make sure, see if it's for us, if it's relevant to us. And if it's not relevant to us, then, you know, we just think, okay, that's for someone else. But it'd be nicer if there was less messages, right? Because then we don't have to be sitting there checking messages all the time. Yeah.
I think so that we don't forget to do it, because it's like a task there that you have to complete or doing something with it.
Yeah, exactly. So that's a really important one. So what happens is if you give someone a task, something to do, and you do it through Zoom chat, the problem is the person might be in the middle of something, so they might read the message, but they're doing something else that's maybe more important, more urgent. And now they've got to remember, because they've already read that message, either they've got to mark it as unread so they don't forget it, or they've got to keep it in their mind to remember. And that can be difficult, especially when you've got a lot of things going on. And also, what if other messages come into the chat? You know what I mean? After that request to do something was put in there, then they've got to scroll back and find all the things that they've been asked to do. So, yeah, good point. Thanks, Manal. All right. Any other reasons? Anybody, you, San? What do you think, San? Anything else? Any other reasons, or have we mentioned everything?
Yeah, the main reason is that you won't miss that request if you create a tag. And yeah, I think that's an important reason. That's why we create a tag, not on the chat.
Yeah. And I think another reason too is sometimes, so let's say I've got something I want San to do, right? And I say, San, hey San, can you do this? And I do it through the chat. So I don't know how busy San is, or if she's got other urgent things she needs to do. And so by me putting my request like that, sometimes people feel that because someone's put it in the chat, especially when it's a group chat, sometimes they feel that they should do it immediately. Otherwise, everyone's going to be wondering why is it taking so long? Why isn't this thing done? You know what I mean? So there's that extra pressure to do it immediately, which is not good, because San might be in the middle of, you know, setting up a promotion for a gold client, and she doesn't want, you know, and if she gets interrupted, then she might make a mistake. You know, that's usually, I find how I make mistakes is when I'm in the middle of doing something and then I get interrupted, and then I leave it and I come back to it later. You know what I mean? Like I'll forget to do something, I'll miss some steps or something like that. So, but also, I don't know what San's priorities are. Like, she might have other more urgent tasks. And so by me creating a task in Salesforce, that allows her to prioritize her tasks, to see, okay, what's the most important thing that I have in my list? Because Stu might have given her something more important, or even, you know, maybe Nice. You know, Nice might have had a really important thing that she needed done that was even more urgent than mine. Right. So it allows San to prioritize her tasks. Again, if it's something really urgent, create the task, but if you're worried that they might not be seeing the task quickly enough, then let them know. Just send them a message. Say, hey, look, I've created a task for you. Look, I've got this really urgent issue. I've created a task for you. Yeah. And and decide to, it's also important to decide to whether it's more appropriate to put it in the group chat or just send the person a direct message. Because like someone mentioned earlier, you know, we don't necessarily want everyone to interrupt everyone for every thing that we need, you know, we need to post about, that we need to chat about. Sometimes it's appropriate, sometimes maybe not everyone needs to see it. Okay. All right. Any questions? Any other questions or comments about that? Oh, actually, there is one more thing too. So, we talk about it in our team, right? And sorry, by the way, I've got a bit of a cold, so my apologies if I'm, clearing my throat or whatever, if I sound a bit funny. Now we talk about this topic. We talk about it in our team, but maybe in other parts of the organization, they might not do things the way that we've discussed it here. They should actually. This is something we have discussed at an organization level, right? So what we're talking about here, it should be the way it's done throughout the whole organization. Now, if you find that someone from sales or customer service or anyone else is using the Zoom chat inappropriately, like they're giving you tasks and sort of, giving you tasks through Zoom chat instead of through Salesforce, then you can tell the person directly, hey, thanks, in a nice way, just tell the person directly in a nice way, hey, thanks, thanks for sending me this. Would you please create a task for me so I don't forget? All right. Just let them know, hey, happy to do it. Would you please create a task so I don't forget? Or so I can prioritize it, or whatever, whatever language you want to, how you want to say it. So yeah, now if you're not comfortable doing that because, maybe it's Stu or Steph doing it, right? And they shouldn't be, but, I see it a lot actually. And Sam will tell you that sometimes I'll message one of them and I'll say, hey, please don't do that. Send my team a task. Don't put it in the chat. So look, if you're not comfortable asking that person to create a task for you, then let Sam know and Sam will deal with it. Now, if Sam's not comfortable dealing with it, she will let me know and I'll bring it to their attention. So because that's the way it should be, by the way. So there's no exceptions even for Steph and Stu, right? There's no exceptions. Now you'll notice Stu does it too. Whenever there's a billing thing, what does he say? He'll say, hey, have you created a task for me? It's the same thing, right? Because he wants to make sure that he doesn't forget to do it and it gets, everything gets done properly. All right, great. Okay, I won't go on any more about that unless there's any other questions or comments. No? Okay. All right, let me see what else I was going to talk about here. I think there might have been okay, yeah, here's another good one. I'm going to share my screen here. Let's see, share screen again. Come on, Zoom. All right, so we had so when we run Google Ads, we choose videos that we're going to use as one of the assets for the Google ad campaign for the clients. Now we have some videos that we've created that are on the spreadsheet. There's some YouTube videos that you can use, but sometimes we have clients that are not Thai restaurants, or that they're a bit different. They're a Thai restaurant, but they got a very unique type of food, like vegan food or something like that. And maybe we don't have a good video. So we had recently with Crab 404, which you can see on my screen. So we needed to create a video for them. And so I was going through looking for videos to create. And then I thought, I went to find out more about the restaurant and I hopped on their website and I'm like, wait a second, they've already got a video right here. So when you look on their website, right there in the header, they've got this really nice, I really like this, really nice video. So what you can do, so when you're looking for, again, when you're creating a Google ad campaign and you can't find the right video in the ones that the templates we already have, check the client's website and also their Facebook page to see if they have any good videos that we can use. So on their Facebook page, they've got They've got lots of videos here on their Facebook page. Now, I'm not saying all these videos would be okay to use in a Google ad campaign, but have a look through them and see if there's any ones that you feel would be good. So that's a good option too. So it's really good actually. It's actually much more effective than using a template video to use a video like this, for example, on their header, because that's unique to this particular restaurant and it's a really nice one. So so let's say for example you did want to use this video. We would need to get this on YouTube, right, to use it. So how do you go about doing that? Well, sometimes if I click on, so this particular one, it already might be hosted on YouTube. So if I right click and select inspect, it'll bring up this thing on the right hand side and it'll tell me about this video. So let me see this particular video. I don't see any YouTube thing for it. So anyway, if it's difficult finding if it's a YouTube video or not and getting the URL, then just create a task for San to help you to get this video on YouTube, and then San can give you the URL, or if San doesn't know, she'll definitely she'll let me know and I'll help out. But we should be able to get this video, either find the YouTube URL and use it, or if it's not hosted on YouTube, we should be able to download it, upload it to the Local For You channel as an unlisted video, so the public don't see it, I mean, and then grab and then use that URL in the Google ad campaign. All right, so we should be able to do that.
Okay.
All right, lovely. Okay, all right, that's it for that topic, unless there's any questions. Nope, all good.
So we will download this video and upload it on our channel. Do we need to tell the customer that we will download their video, since we don't know that this video was created by agency or by themselves?
Yeah, good, really good question. Yeah, really good question. Now, if they've got it on their website, it's fine for us to use in a Google ad campaign. If it's on their website live, if it's on Facebook page, it's fine for us to use in a Google ad campaign. Yeah. All right, any other questions or comments?
No.
No? Okay. All right, sorry. Okay, and the last thing, what's my last topic I wanted to talk about today? Yes. All right, so here's something that came up. That came up recently, was spelling, Australian spelling versus US spelling. So just so you're aware, some of you might not be aware, some of you might be. American English and Australian English is UK English, by the way. So in Australia, we use the UK version of English. In America, they've got American English. And the spelling of US words sometimes is different to the spelling of UK words. And sometimes in America and Australia, we use different words, slightly different. Now, I'm not going to expect you to learn and know all the differences between Australian words and, you know, UK English or Australian English and American English. That's not possible, right? That's okay. We're not expecting that. But it is good for you to be aware that some of these words and some of these differences. So a good example is right now is Mother's Day is coming up. So in Australia and in American Australia, mother is fine. You can say mother, it's spelt the same and it means the same. But when you abbreviate it to mom, in America it's mom, M-O-M, and in Australia it's mum, M-U-M. And I think too, I'm not sure if Mother's Day is the same. It's the same day in Australia and in America. I think Father's Day is different days. Is it Mother's Day in America? Does anyone
It's the
know when
same.
Mother's Day is the same?
Yep.
Okay, great. So that makes it easy. I think Father's Day is different in Australia and in America. Father's Day. I could be wrong, but so but yeah, that's an important one. So in America it's mom, M-O-M. In Australia it's M-U-M, mum. Yeah. So on my screen here, there's an article here, and San already might have shared this with you, and it's got some common examples of how. Actually, let me get this one here. So in differences between American and Australian English. So in Australia or UK, we end words with O-U-R, like favor. That's how we end it in Australia. And in America, they don't put a U. It's just O-R. Right. In Australia, we put words like, we spell theater or meter with R-E at the end. In America, it's E-R, theater, meter. Yeah. Actually, I might just zoom in so you can see that a bit better. So in Australia, we end words with ISE in Australia, ISE, like authorize. And in America, it's IZE. Yeah. And that's some of the main differences, right? That's general. They're rules, some rules. This page here has got some common words that they say in America versus how we say it in Australia. Most of these are correct. Some of them are a bit anyway. Don't worry about too much about these ones here. I don't think we really use a lot of this, and I wouldn't be too concerned about it. A lot of there's a lot of American influence in Australia. So even in Australia right now, many Australians have started spelling things the American way because we get so much American influence here. And I'll give you an example. In Australia, if you have an emergency, you're supposed to dial 000. That's the phone number, 000 for an emergency. Now, because American shows are so popular here, emergency shows are so popular, like the show 911. Has anyone ever heard of the show 911, American show? Yeah, Peter, I think Peter's heard of it. So it's an emergency show. It's because in America, that's what you dial. If there's an emergency, you dial 911. Now, that show's so popular, it became so popular here that people in Australia, when they had an emergency, they were dialing 911. And it's sad. It was going nowhere. They've actually changed it now in Australia. In Australia now, if you dial 911, they actually redirect it to 000. They redirect it because so many people do it. So, but having said that, with the word mum, that's the way we spell it here. If you use mom, it does stand out, right? If you spell it in Australia, and the same thing, right? If for those like Manal and for Nice and Manal, working in the US, same thing. We don't want you spelling things M-U-M, right? Because that'll look really weird. So, okay. All right, that's it. That's all I wanted to go over today. Thanks so much for listening to me, guys. Is there any other questions or comments before I pass the time over to San? No. All right. Thank you.
Oh, thank you so much, John.
You.
ทีนี้เดี๋ยวจะเมนชั่นเรื่อง SMS นิดนึงนะสำหรับลูกค้าโซเชียลมีเดียที่ของออสที่จะต้องส่งคืออันเนี้ยต้องโทรนะต้องโทรเพื่อไปถามลูกค้าจริงๆ ก่อนวันศุกร์นี้ เพราะวันศุกร์ควรจะเริ่มตั้ง schedule post ได้แล้ว ตั้ง schedule SMS ที่จะส่งออกเนาะสำหรับวันแม่คือวันอาทิตย์นี้ที่จะถึง แล้วก็เลิกงามยามดีต้นเดือนโทรหาลูกค้าชาร์จไหมปิดไหมเปิดเปล่าแล้วก็เรื่อง SMS ด้วยสำหรับโซเชียลมีเดียเนาะแล้วก็เรื่องพี่สุนิสานิดนึงตอนนี้พี่สุนิสามี3 ล้านอยู่กับ3 คนพี่จะถามว่าใครจะเป็นคนเทคไปทั้งหมดพี่สุนิสาจะได้คุยคนเดียวเพราะตอนนี้คือโทรอยู่3 คนพี่บีปีเตอร์โทรหาทุกวันด้วย3 คน
ตอนนี้ปีเตอร์มีของพี่เขาอยู่2 ล้านนะ
อะไรอ่ะ
สุนิสากับอาหารไทยใช่ไหม
ไม่ใช่อาหารไทยของเขาอยู่ที่พี่อาหารไทยที่ปีเตอร์มีชื่ออ๋องผิดร้านไหมเนี่ย
อ๋อเหรอ
ใช่มันชื่อเหมือนกันสุริสานั้นเป็นโกนะไม่ใช่
โอเค
สุริสาอาหารนั้นเป็นโกหรือเปล่า
ใช่ใช่ที่มีอยู่
เหงาแล้วปีเตอร์บอก เมื่อวานกูทำอะไรลงไปแล้ว
โอเค
แล้วก็จริงๆไม่มีอะไรนะวันนี้ออกสั้นๆเพราะว่ามันยาวมาก แต่ว่าไนท์กับมะนาวอยากเข้ามาไปเทคคอร์สไอตัวเยลด้วยกันไหมคืนไหนว่าง หรือว่าจะให้เราเข้าไปคนเดียวก็ได้ แต่ไม่กับคนนะกับระบบ เรายังไม่รู้เลยเข้าไปมันจะหน้าเป็นยังไง อะไรนะ
มันคือทำอะไรอ่ะ
เขาจะเหมือนพรีเซนต์โชว์ไปเลยว่าแบบว่าโปรดักอะไรเบเนฟิตมีอะไร ประมาณเนี้ย
แต่หมายถึงคือกับระบบเหรอแบบไม่ได้คุยกับคน
ใช่ มันจะเป็นระบบให้ล็อกอินเข้าไป เรียนรู้ แต่ว่าเราจะเป็นคนเดียวที่เข้าได้ เพราะว่าเขาใส่ตัว IP address เข้าไป
อ๋อ แล้วก็แบบเหมือนซูมแชร์กันอะไรเงี้ยเหรอ
ว่าจะเปิดซูมแชร์กันถ้าสะดวกถ้าว่างนะ ก็เดี๋ยวจะนัดคืนนึงแล้วเดี๋ยวเราเข้าไปแชร์
อือหือ
แต่เดี๋ยววันนี้เราจะลองเข้าไปก่อนว่ามันหน้าตาเป็นยังไง แล้วเดี๋ยวจะมาบอกว่ามันแชร์ได้หรือเปล่า มันเป็นหน้าตายังไงอะไรอย่างเงี้ย ใครมีปัญหาอะไรไหมแต่ก็ไม่น่ามีเนาะทุกอย่างช่วงนี้มันดูแบบวุ่นไงก็ไม่รู้อะแบบตัวเราอะนะ มีใครมีปัญหาไหมชีวิต
เดี๋ยวนี่คือจะเริ่มขายเมื่อไหร่นะ
ยังไม่จบคอร์สสำหรับการแบบว่าพูดคุยเริ่มต้นเลยอะยังเป็นตัวทดลอง เรากับบูมยังเข้าคอร์สอยู่เลย ถ้าจบคอร์สอะไรอย่างเงี้ยอย่างที่เขาบอกอะก็น่าจะต้องถามเขาต่อว่าจะไปยังไงต่อหมายถึงตัวเดี๋ยวอะต้องให้ทำอะไรต่อ
อันนี้คือหมายถึงว่าเราจะไม่เปลี่ยนใจใช่ปะว่าจะเอาหรือไม่เอาอย่างเงี้ย
อันนี้ไม่แน่ใจเลย เพราะว่ายังไม่เห็นตัวผลลัพธ์ของตัวไทยไลท์กับตัวซิมพี่ไทยด้วย แล้วก็ตัวราคาที่ต้องมาเคาะกันอีกทีนึงว่าจะลงกันเท่าไหร่กับลูกค้าที่จะคุยกับลูกค้าอะไรอย่างเงี้ย แต่ทางด้านเซลล์อ่ะก็รู้สึกว่าเขาดูอยากได้อะดูแบบ